धीरू भाई अंबानी ने उस टाइम पे अपना बिजनेस बिल्ड किया था जब कोई इंटरनेट नहीं था, जब ऑटोमेशन नहीं थे, सिस्टम्स नहीं थे, ईमेल और व्हाट्सएप मार्केटिंग नहीं थी। तब उनके पास एक स्किल था एंड दैट वाज बिजनेस नेटवर्किंग। Hi guys, I'm Kewal Kishan, India's leading business automation coach, and today I welcome you to MSME Growth Podcast Series. Today we have India's only strategic networking coach, Paritosh Pathak, with us, who is going to enlighten us how can we use the power of networking to grow our sales, to grow our business, and to take it to the next level. So welcome, Paritosh.
Thank you, Kewal. Thank you so much. Super excited to be here on this amazing initiative. I've been watching a lot of videos that you've been doing recently, these podcast series, and they are absolutely fantastic. I'm psyched to be here today.
Awesome. So Paritosh, you have been, a networking coach. So if I ask you, how do you define networking? What is networking? Is there any definition of it?
Well, there are many definitions, and it really depends कि आप कौन सी definition लेना चाहते हो. I'll tell you the one that I have. Right? I break networking into two parts, which is your net working for you. जब आपका नेटवर्क आपके लिए काम करना शुरू कर देगा, your network starts to work for you, that is when you're networking. Because networking is a game of relationships. And बहुत common view है दुनिया में. People think that it's about going out, meeting people, exchanging cards, following up, doing business. Yeah, that's one of the benefits of networking. But in a sense, if we can build a kind of network,
Which helps you
grow, that cares to enable you. Imagine the heights where we can go.
Awesome. So when you say network starts working for you, are we talking about clients start referring you, or are we talking about vendors providing you the good rates? Network का definition आप अगर थोड़ा डिटेल में बताओगे किस टाइप की कैटेगरी के लोगों की हम बात करें?
That's very simple. Every relationship that you have put together is your network, right? Which includes your relatives, your friends, your customers, your prospects that you've lost, जिनके साथ आजकल आप टच में नहीं हो, होना चाहिए लेकिन नहीं हो, right? और आपके जो फ्रेंड्स हैं, जिन एसोसिएशंस के आप पार्ट हो, लिंक्डइन पे जो आपके कॉन्टैक्ट्स एंड कनेक्शंस हैं, फेसबुक पे, इंस्टाग्राम पे, all relationships put together create your network,
including your employees.
Of course, including employees, 100% within the company, 100%.
So it means एक बिजनेस ओनर के लिए नेटवर्किंग करना बहुत जरूरी है.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah. So if I talk about the benefits of networking, can you share some?
Okay. इसको मैं एक क्वेश्चन के फॉर्म में आपसे पूछता हूँ. Tell me this, Kewal. As of today, your network is going to be pretty interesting, right? You've been at it for a very long time.
Yeah.
Thousands of people, to say the least. Right? Just imagine if that network started to work for you. And work for you, what does it mean? This work को define कर लेते हैं. So business is obviously one, right? But what if this network could start to support you, mentor you, coach you, advise you, be there for you, open doors for you, right? Recommend things, recommend opportunities, recommend good softwares, recommend good people.
Right? That could take things to the next.
Just imagine. So benefits of networking, traditionally the word thinks is business. इसीलिए term है ना business networking, right? But वो एक बहुत छोटा part है उसका, and it goes way beyond that.
Okay, so if somebody, is just sitting in the office and now thinking कि यार अब मुझे बाहर जाना है, कुछ इवेंट्स में जाना है, अपने कार्ड्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने हैं, लोगों से कार्ड्स लेने हैं, लोगों से बात करनी है, is that the way to start the networking? So how should somebody start doing the networking if they want to do? क्या steps हैं through which you can start the networking and you can get the results?
देखो सीक्वेंस एक. So imagine करो एक स्पाइरल है यहाँ पे, right? स्पाइरल के सेंटर में सबसे पहले है सेल्फ, राइट? सो सबसे पहले खुद पे काम करना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि अगर मैं तुम्हारे सामने आ रहा हूँ, मैं नेटवर्क कर रहा हूँ, मेरे अंदर धुक हो रही है, I'm feeling nervous about it. Kewal is such a big guy, right? And I'm not going to be able to talk to you. So if I've got not good enough within me, I've got insecurity within me, I've got fears within me, it does not matter आप मेरे को कौन सा प्लेटफॉर्म लाके दे रहे हो, कौन सा इवेंट लाके दे रहे हो. It's almost like you're giving me a Ferrari to drive, but I only having the ability of Maruti 800.
Right.
कोई फायदा नहीं है. तो सबसे पहले, go on please.
So I think उसमें मैं कभी ऑब्जर्व करता हूँ, people go to the networking events, but they do not talk to people. और अगर कोई big shot आ गया, कोई speaker आ गया, उससे बातें नहीं कर पाते because they feel that guy is too big. So how do they solve this problem? What do you think? What should a person do within himself so that एक जो not good enough वाला feeling है वो हटे?
देखो, केवल सबसे पहली चीज है कि इस चीज को ना हमें एक्नॉलेज करना जरूरी है. अच्छा. We're sitting out here, we're substituting hard work for self work. आज की डेट में अगर हम मार्केट में जाके लोगों को बिजनेस ओनर्स बोलें कि यार थोड़ा टाइम ना बैठ के इंट्रोस्पेक्शन करो, प्रेजेंट हो जाओ, इमोशंस क्या है, फीलिंग्स क्या है, लोग बोलेंगे अरे ये थोड़ी होता है, इससे थोड़ी कुछ होता है, ये सब बकवास है, राइट? बट एंड ऑफ द डे जब हम किसी बिग शॉट के सामने जाके खड़े होते हैं और कई बार हमें पता ही नहीं चलता हमें क्या बोलना है, वी आर स्टैंडिंग लाइक अ वियर्ड पर्सन देयर, या कभी हम कुछ ऐसा बोल जाते हैं क्योंकि अंदर इमोशंस टर्मोइल चल रहा है, कुछ ऐसा बोल जाते हैं कि बाद में हमको लगता है यार क्या बेवकूफी, क्या बोल दिया मैं. तो उस मोमेंट में ये सारी चीजें जरूरी हो जाती हैं. लक की डेफिनेशन क्या है? अपॉर्चुनिटी मीटिंग प्रिपरेशन.
Opportunity
मीटिंग प्रिपरेशन.
Opportunity plus preparation,
Right.
is equal to luck.
Yeah, preparation plus opportunity, doesn't matter which one falls, right? So you have to be
Awesome.
prepared before the opportunity comes.
All right.
Right? And when these two things meet, you get lucky. So अगर आप पहले बैठ के अपने इमोशंस पे काम करोगे, अगर आप इसको फिगर आउट करोगे, सबको नहीं होगा ये प्रॉब्लम. बहुत सारे लोग जब ये lot of people who are listening will have this concern. Many won't. So it applies to those who have these emotional blocks inside. How they solve it is they start becoming aware of it. Stop shrugging it in the corner कि मैं तो देखूंगा नहीं, ऐसा तो है ही.
अभी recently मैं I'll not take the name of the organization, but they were just conducting this big event with 1,000-2,000 people. They invited me as one of the guests, and लोग आ रहे थे, मुझसे मिल रहे थे और अपने कार्ड्स दे रहे थे.
Yes.
And they were not ready to ask me on what do I do. They were just telling me what they do, and they were just giving the card, and they were मतलब मेरे pocket में I had a pile of cards, at least 30-40 cards, and I was like wondering कि cards का मैं क्या करूँ. तो मतलब लोगों को हैबिट है कि नेटवर्किंग इवेंट में जाना है, कार्ड्स लेके आ जाना है. इसका प्रोज एंड कॉन्स क्या है और ये क्या है? इज इट नेटवर्किंग और इज इट समथिंग एल्स?
देखो, दिस इज अ सिस्टम कॉल्ड कार्ड डिस्पेंसिंग. दिस इज नॉट नेटवर्किंग. पहले इमेजिन करते हैं, ठीक है, मैं आया, आई वाज वन ऑफ दोस पीपल, आई केम एंड गिव माय कार्ड टू यू. यू आर वंडरिंग आप क्या करोगे.
हाँ, मतलब क्या करूंगा.
इसको दूसरे एस्पेक्ट से बात करते हैं. लेट्स से मैं एक नेटवर्किंग इवेंट पे गया, मैं लोगों से मिला, राइट? अब सोचो कितनी बार आपके साथ हुआ है, how many times this has happened with you, that you come back from a networking event, you've looked through the cards and you found one card and you're like, why did I take this card? I don't remember.
Exactly.
Right? These were the cards where there was absolutely no connect, there was no value exchange.
So is it this, does it mean कि वो जो लोग कार्ड दे रहे थे, they were looking just for business, not for relationship?
So नहीं केवल, I'm not going to go that far and say, I'm going to say कि in my experience, those people don't know there is a better way. Unfortunately, they're doing a lot more hard work than they. Right. Imagine the situation. Instead of going and me giving my card to you, let's say I come and I make you the most important person for 5 minutes of my life.
Exactly.
Right. And I'm like, Kewal, आप बताओ आप क्या करते हो? This is so inspiring work. Kewal, what drives you? This, that, etc. अब there's a psychological process happening in your head. What is that process? पहले तो आपके barriers down हो रहे हैं क्योंकि I'm not pushing my card to you.
You're not selling yourself.
Selling.
You're not telling about your business. You're asking me.
Taking interest in you.
Interest in me.
Right.
Okay.
अब उसके बाद क्या हो रहा है? Your brain is saying, okay, nice guy, yaar. Nice guy. He's talking about me. I'm enjoying this conversation. When that happens, psychological phenomenon of likability kicks in.
Exactly.
जब वो likability होती है, तो आप मेरे से पूछोगे,
हाँ, आप क्या
करते हो? यही तो मैं चाहता हूँ. This is what I want. That for you to, I want to add value in your life as well, but I want you to take interest in me as well.
Right.
Ab when I tell you, Kewal, right,
Yeah.
ki, what do I do? Right, your willingness to receive my introduction is going to be almost 80% higher.
Wow. Amazing.
अब सोच के देखो, likability transfer एक concept है जो मैं define करता हूँ. It's not a concept of psychology. I just say, अगर मेरे को आप as a person अच्छे लगते हो ना, तो मैं assume करूँगा कि आप अच्छे business हो.
Exactly.
So, अगर मैं आपको अपने business पे convince करने की कोशिश करूँगा, आपको लगेगा मैं sell कर रहा हूँ.
Right.
But if I create a one-on-one connect, you'll automatically assume that from a good person, I must be a good business owner, which increases the probability of you wanting to do business with me, right? And all I have to do is less hard work.
Yeah.
So coming back to your question, a lot of these people are under this concept of social proof, right? Social proof says whatever everyone is doing must be the right thing to do. अब networking इंडिया में कोई सिखाता नहीं है, कोई स्कूल कॉलेज नहीं है तो बहुत हैंडफुल है. I mean, like I could count on the fingers of a single hand, where networking as a science is being taught. But we've got lakhs and lakhs and crores of people graduating, starting businesses, becoming employees. And after a point in time, everything runs on relationships. So they know that networking is important, but they've not been taught in the past. So how are they going to do networking? They show up to a networking event and they see, no. They see what is everyone doing. So I walk into a networking event. One person comes to me and says, hi, Mr. Pathak, this is who I am. This is what I do. Nice to meet you. Goes away. I'm like, okay, cool. So second person comes, third person comes, fourth person comes. Right? And then my brain starts to say, oh, everyone is doing this. This must be the right way.
Yeah, I should also get the cards printed
and start dispensing them. But it is not, because it is not working, because you yourself said that you're going away with a stack of business cards जिनका आपको पता ही नहीं आपने क्या करना है.
आज मैंने ब्लेजर पहना, मैंने इसकी पॉकेट चेक की, 4 कार्ड्स पड़े हुए थे. मैं घर पे रख के आया हूँ, एंड नो आइडिया वो कितने कार्ड्स, मतलब कोई लॉजिक ही नहीं है इन चीजों को forcefully किस पे किसी पे डाल.
So people aren't trying to do it forcefully, Kewal. They just over more than the last 12 years I've seen this, that people don't know that there's a better way.
So क्या आपने ये भी ऑब्जर्व किया है कि if people are meeting each other in networking event, they're just kind of trying to find the prospects instead of actually genuinely networking.
So it's the same. They're leading with their competence, not with their character. Right? When I come and say, hi, Kewal, this is my card. I'm a strategic networking coach. That's my competence. But when I say, hey, Kewal, how are you? Tell me about you. I'm leading with my character.
So can you elaborate on this, like leading with competence versus character? What is the difference?
So अगर मुझे prospecting करनी है, तो I should lead with my competence. Right? कि, hey, Kewal, this is who I am. And if you're interested, you'll ask me more information about that. Right? If you're not interested, we'll shake hands. I'll go to the next person. So ये selling के लिए, prospecting के लिए, ठीक है.
और उसमें वो तभी करेगा ना जब मुझे requirement है. But you don't know whether I have a requirement. तो आपने मुझे बताया अपने business के बारे में, like okay ठीक है.
What if, Kewal, in this situation, what if my biggest client ever in my life, or that one client that's going to change my trajectory, right? Get me one of celebrities to come and become a coaching client, or get me onto an Oprah show or something like that, is your friend, is your uncle. I will never get to those because I saw you as a prospect. I only saw you as a checkbook. And when you weren't willing to cut the check, I moved on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Now, here's a very simple thing. किसी से भी conversation करो ना, या तो business मिलना चाहिए या relationship. एक चीज तो लेके जाना है. ROI होनी चाहिए ना. We're businessmen. We should have ROI. So if I'm talking to you and there's nothing coming out, it's 100% loss. Right? Mathematically speaking, what if I changed that? What if I just made you first, kept you first, and just doing that, everything else will follow.
Awesome. So how can we do that? How can we actually do the networking? And what could be the ways? Because nowadays, post-COVID, people are not willing to go in the events. People are not willing to meet physically. They are meeting on Zoom or using WhatsApp, Facebook, LinkedIn. तो अब आज के टाइम पे नेटवर्किंग कैसे करें? Let's start with LinkedIn.
So, इस पे मैं 2 मिनट में आता हूँ, but let me first answer the question जो आपने पहले पूछा था कि नेटवर्किंग शुरू कैसे करनी चाहिए. And वहाँ से we got into this conversation. So I said imagine a spiral. Right? Spiral में सबसे पहले self हो गया. Work on yourself. The second thing that comes is business. The moment you start treating networking as a function of your business, it starts to add more value. देखो, हमारे marketing के goals होते हैं, हमारे sales के goals होते हैं, हम इनको resources देते हैं, हम इनको time देते हैं, इन पर लोग hire करते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं. Back of the head हमें मालूम है networking भी इतनी important है. At least काफी लोगों को मालूम है. But कोई department नहीं है, कोई resource allocation नहीं है, कोई budgeting नहीं है, कोई goal नहीं है, tracking नहीं है. So खुद पे काम करने के बाद हमें अपने business को देखना है. Look at our business. What kind of networking does a business need? Where do we go and do it? Are our goals set? Who's holding us accountable? Okay. So self, business, and then comes customers. I joke about this, and I say that the most valuable category in a business owner's life is customer, and the most ignored category in a business owner's life is customer. कब मिलते हैं हम अपने customer? Onboard हो गया, तब बात करेंगे when we have to either deliver something to them or you have to collect money. When was the last time you went and met one of your most valuable customers just to have a cup of tea?
That's it. Without any agenda.
Without any agenda. So then self पे काम हो गया, business पे काम हो गया, and then we have to take care of our customers. First, before I go out, I mean, I've got a gold mine here, मेरे पास. मैं उस gold mine को ignore करके, I'm going and doing 10 times hard work. Makes no sense. Right? Customers हो गए, जब relationships sort हो गए, then I need to go to customer referral. A customer referral is one of the most profitable, fastest converting source of business.
Absolutely.
Right?
I totally
Then I
agree.
need to make sure I'm doing that. और उसके बाद ओपन नेटवर्क आता है. तो एक ये स्पाइरल जो है ना, इसमें एक एरो जा रहा है नीचे से ऊपर. राइट? सेल्फ, बिजनेस, कस्टमर्स, रेफरल्स, ओपन नेटवर्क. ऐसे होनी चाहिए. लोग कैसे करते हैं?
लोग डायरेक्टली ओपन
लोग कहते
नेटवर्क
हैं सीधा ओपन नेटवर्किंग स्टार्ट करनी, ओपन नेटवर्क पे चलो. मेरी स्किल है, एबिलिटी है, नहीं है, बिकॉज एवरीवन इज डूइंग इट. Must be the right thing to do. I just wanted to complete this conversation. Now, ask me the question again on LinkedIn. What were you asking?
So how can we do the networking on LinkedIn? So I think question thoda galat tha, because you said ki you should start with self and then business and then customers and then referrals and eventually open network. So LinkedIn maybe you should think of doing networking only once you have started doing networking with your customers.
So देखो ऐसा है, I don't mean to imply कि आप open networking शुरू नहीं कर सकते जब तक आपने self पे काम नहीं करा. अगर ऐसे करेंगे तो 2 साल का डिले तो इसी चीज में आ जाएगा. Exactly. Right? So open network हमें start करना चाहिए, but not at the cost of ignoring the self, ignoring the business.
Ignoring the existing network.
So if anyone is thinking of starting networking now, they could go and join, attend events, etc. But they can't just look at one of the 5 dimensions कि मैं open network के पास ही जाऊंगा. Right? ये नहीं होना चाहिए. नंबर 1, तो LinkedIn plays a very important role. ठीक है, LinkedIn भी 2 पार्ट है. एक तो आपका existing network है, it allows you to stay in touch with that, and second is it allows you to grow your network, bring people in.
So, for example, if I've got few customers who are on LinkedIn, or I have an option to go and meet them, right? But if I don't have time to do networking, then what? If I don't have time to
ऐसा क्या कर रहे हो कि टाइम नहीं है?
Many people say that networking is
and
time
that's my
consuming.
counter question to them, right? ऐसा क्या कर रहे हो जो टाइम नहीं है? सबसे पहले बिजनेस की जगह बिजनेस चलाना एक चॉइस है.
तो उसके लिए ऑटोमेशन करना है.
एग्जैक्ट. अब तुम अगर मेरे डायलॉग चोरी कर लोगे. I was about to say this. So put processes in place. Talk to Kewal, get his help, get automation systems, right? If you're doing repetitive tasks, you shouldn't be. As it is, a business owner, Kewal, must only be doing those things that helps new business come in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything that is beyond this is not a business owner's job. That's where team comes in, resources comes in, automation comes in, right? So, number one, if people are busy, my question is, why are they busy? Because there are people who are running far greater number of companies, far bigger companies doing much bigger deals in the same 24 hours.
So let me just ask few examples here, because my audience is, we've got manufacturers, traders, service providers, agencies. Let's start with these industries one by one. If you can give one tip to each and every industry, that'll be awesome.
So I can go industry wise, but industry का यहाँ पे relevance है नहीं. If you want, I'll still come to it, okay? Now, let's talk about busy people. How can they get time out to networking? Manufacturer का example है. Right? Manufacturer is in the office whole day. What happens, Kewal, when that manufacturer goes on a holiday? 3 दिन, 4 दिन, 7 दिन. Business runs. Yeah, some fires come up here and there, and yeah, he's on the phone a little bit sorting that. But business runs. So now, here is a counter question to your question. What if that manufacturer just started to take 1 or 2 days out in a month just to go network? If he's going on a holiday, if he's going for a conference, if there's a medical emergency, he's taking time out. Right. And the business is running. Yes, some fires happening, I acknowledge that. They can be dealt with automation, right? And if I just started to take some time out and just started to go meet people, my game could change. Let me give you one example. One of my clients, Nikhil Jain, based in Bombay, Nipra, right? They manufacture bottle closures. Amazing guy. He came in, did the program, and started prioritizing relationships with his customers, right? Within the year that he did our program, we gave him a 100x certificate. Just to clarify, 100x certificate is given to people who generate 100 times the ROI of the money they've invested in our program. Right? And that's a significant sum. And all he did was, he was like, okay, yeah, I don't have to be sitting in the office that much, right? Or when he's going and meeting his customers, he said, okay, काम की बात हो गई. Now let's have a cup of tea. Come outside, right? Let's grab a tea. Let's talk. And within the meetings that he was already having, he started to add the intention of getting to know the customer, adding value in their life.
So it's more about increasing the trust in the network, in the customer's mind. And when people trust you, they can refer you, right? But can you tell us how can we quantify the efforts versus the ROI when it comes to networking? Is there any way, because I'm a numbers guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I knew this question was coming.
All about numbers and automation systems.
Okay.
How can we systemize networking? Or so I'll come to that question as well, but how can we quantify it? For example, if somebody is doing 5 meetings in a month, is there any way to quantify or how much business can he or she generate eventually after so much of effort?
There is. But we'll have to rephrase the question a little bit, right? Remove 5 meetings and simply keep the question, how can we quantify? Okay. And let me walk through a quick formula here, right? Imagine, Kewal, let's say you have 500 customers, right? Now, every customer of yours, tell me whether you agree or disagree, that every customer of yours in their lifetime of being associated with you can refer you at least one new client?
Yeah, more than that.
Right? I'm just going to the bare minimum. Right? Bare minimum one. Right? Now, which means that one of the most powerful ways of doubling your business is through existing customers
and the referrals.
And the referrals. Referrals is the how, right? We're talking about the what. Okay. So how do we quantify? Here is a quantification right here. Right? That the moment you start focusing on a customer, on the existing customers, you have the ability to double your business.
But now 500 contacts से या customer से network करें कैसे?
वो अब देखो कैसे का सवाल दूसरा है. पहले quantification पे clear कर लेते हैं. ठीक है? I will right after this I'll come to how. Now quantification में this has happened. Now similarly you're going to a networking platform. A lot of people join networking platform these days. There you have to use something called a time formula. Right? Last year if your turnover was 20 crores divided by the number of days you work, and you get to know what is your worth of time एक दिन का, what is that you get paid. Now how many days are you giving to that networking platform? Right? That comes to be the last year का goal. अब इस year आप अगर इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हो तो आपको उस पे capitalization चाहिए. You want ROI on that, obviously. Right? So what percentage? 10%, 20%, 50%. Right? Map that up. So when you go to a networking platform, when you join an association, you're going and joining for business, but you don't have a goal in mind. And that is why so many people make these mistakes. Kewal, they join these associations, platforms, but they don't honor the commitment.
Right.
If a platform is saying that, hey, you should come and do X, they'll be like, nah, you know what, I'm too busy.
Right.
Platform के events हो रहे हैं, लोग नहीं जा रहे हैं उसमें. Join करा है business लेने के लिए, लेकिन मुझे ये बताओ कि बिना जाए business कैसे आएगा? I have this saying, platforms don't fail, people do.
Right. But then my question is, if for example somebody's got 100 customers or 100 customers, how to stay in relationship with them consistently and how to add value to them?
Lovely. 2 questions there. How to stay in touch? Let's answer that first, okay? The founding principle you have to use is that you have to divide your customers into 2 categories. You've got your VIP customers. Not all customers are same, right? You've got to know the VIP customers. These are the customers जिनके साथ आप physical effort से touch में रहते हो, because you have finite number of hours in a day.
Right.
And you can't just go and meet all 500 humanly possible ही नहीं.
Yeah, obviously.
तो आपको focus लाना पड़ेगा. Right? So divide your high value customers and the rest of your customers. The rest of the customers you stay in touch through technology, which you do so well. This is what you teach as well, right? You use emails, you use WhatsApp, you use videos, right? You use webinars, seminars, one-to-many meetings, whatever works in your business.
Right.
Right? Do that through technology. But the VIP customers, the customers who are the most important for your business, customers who are contributing the most revenue in your business, those are the relationships you manage.
So how to do that? Like, for example, you've got some premium clients.
Right.
Obviously, you're delivering the work, but along with the work, what can you do specifically to take the relationship to the next heights?
Spend time with them. Treat them as a human being. Right? And I know this sounds philosophical, but I know the answer that you're asking. You're asking for a formula. I'll come to that as well, right? But the foundation, I believe success is in the basics. Agar basics clear hai na, the formulas would work, right? So first, let's go to the basics. Basic is treat them as people. Most of us are scared of our clients. छोड़ के चले गए तो कुछ बुरा बोल दिया तो ये वो. And because we are scared, we always keep our hand in the water. What if we can change that? How do we change that? There's this formula that I teach called GIVC. You've gone through that,
Yeah.
right? Now, GI is genuine interest. Be genuinely interested, not transactionally. अभी हम interested हैं, हमारा check आना है, पैसा नहीं पा रहे हैं, काम से खुश हैं, right? But they're a human being besides that. So get genuinely interested. When you go and meet them, just sit down and say, by the way, how's everything at home? What's going on? How's your business going on, right? So let's say I have a customer with whom I'm having a networking meeting, but when I do GIVC with him, if I get to know that he's having problems that can be solved through automation, I should get him connected to you.
All right.
That's adding value.
So just tell us the form, like the full form of GIVC.
Genuine interest, value creation.
So it means when you genuinely are interested, you will be able to figure out how can you help him and how can you add the value. It could be connecting that customer to a right vendor. It could be helping them hiring. It could be helping them
Anything.
with any technique on how can they grow. Maybe any tip on how can they improve their health. Anything.
And these days, so many of my clients have started holding their customer accountable on their success.
Okay.
Can you believe this? So they're like a mentor, like a coach. Every time they sit with the customer, like, sir, business कैसा आ रहा है? ये क्यों नहीं कर रहे? वो क्यों नहीं कर रहे? अरे इतना potential है, ऐसे करो ना, वैसे करो ना, ये करो ना. Now, we talk about something called customer journey, right? In the beginning, you're a vendor, right? Then you're a service provider. When the customer is you're delivering, right? The second stage is service provider. Then you're a value creator, right? Value creator is when you are going above and beyond the call of duty to help the customer in the project.
Right.
You're value creator. The top of the pyramid is partner. The moment I go and say, you know what, I am doing work with Kewal, but if I take a little bit responsibility of helping Kewal achieve his best potential, you are never going to leave me. If I'm sitting with you and saying, sir, are you doing this? Let me get you connected to that client of mine. He can be a great prospect. Sir, why are you not doing this? Sir, why are you not going to that conference? You'll start to feel that this guy cares about me. In return, you'll care about me. In return, our relationship goes to a whole another level. In return, you're my lifelong client. In return, you're referring me business. In return, you're building my brand out there in the market.
Yeah.
Let me repeat this formula to my audience. As a business owner, if you're struggling to generate more business from your existing customers, you might be at a vendor stage, which Parthos said. But along with just delivering the product, if you start giving them some consulting, कुछ आप अगर सलाह देना शुरू करोगे, कुछ help करोगे, you will become service provider. But then along with your work, if you start helping them out in their own success in little ways, you're value creator. But when you're genuinely interested in their targets and help them out, push them, make them accountable to achieve it, you become
A partner. Irrespective of whether that happens through your product or service or not.
Yeah.
So the moment I remove the limitation of networking and I say, मुझे केवल की मदद करनी है, I know Kewal is a great guy, I know he's got great talent, I want to help Kewal get to his highest best. And मैंने networking की limitation हटा दी, networking तो मेरा है, right? Now how can I do that? Can I recommend him another coach, right? Can I recommend another program to Kewal? Can I recommend good people? Can I give inspiration, motivation to Kewal? Right? Can I recommend? It's infinite. How can I add value in your life? I will only get to know it is Ramban hai in it. Right? The moment I start caring about the scale, the game changes, right? This is how we buy people in a legal way.
Right.
लोग हमारे हो जाते हैं, फिर नहीं जाते कहीं.
Right. अब यहाँ पे एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है कि if somebody is doing huge business 1, 2, 5, 10, 20 CR and उसकी सेल्स की टीम भी है, राइट? और कस्टमर्स को लगता है कि मैं ना ओनर से ही बात करना चाहता हूँ, मैं तो ओनर से ही बात करूंगा, ओनर से ही नेगोशिएट करूंगा, ओनर ही मुझे प्रोडक्ट डेमो आके दे. वहाँ पे बहुत चैलेंज आता है कि बिजनेस ओनर्स को लगता है कि उनके एम्प्लॉयज जो हैं दे आर नॉट एबल टू सेल द प्रोडक्ट बिकॉज इवेंचुअली कस्टमर वांट टू हैव अ वर्ड विद मी, राइट? How to break that barrier and how to make our sales team a good network.
So culture flows top down. Okay. In business owners को बिगाड़ा किसने? Sorry, in clients को बिगाड़ा किसने? Business owner ने. जहाँ business owner ये complain करते हैं कि client मेरे से ही बात करना चाहता है, वहाँ पे वो clients अपनी टीम को देना भी नहीं चाहते क्योंकि उनके माइंड में डर है. अगर मैंने दिया, इसने जाके ये किसी और competitor के पास चला गया, right? तो ये तो मेरा customer ले जाएगा, या कहीं इसने अपना business शुरू नहीं कर लिया, तो they want to keep it limited. Now, every action has a consequence. तो तो अगर आप अपने एम्प्लॉयज को आगे नहीं भेजोगे तो सारा काम आपके ऊपर इवेंचुअली आएगा ही आएगा, राइट? नाउ हाउ डू वी सॉल्व दिस? कैच 22 हो गया ना कि अगर तो मैं एम्प्लॉयज को आगे करता हूँ तो ये रिस्क है, और नहीं करता हूँ तो मेरे को काम करना है।
नहीं, बट इसमें एक और क्वेश्चन है कि कई बार ओनर को ये लगता है कि यार मैं तो ओनर हूँ कंपनी का और सामने वाला भी ओनर है अपनी कंपनी का, तो वी कैन टॉक एट अ सर्टेन लेवल, राइट? बट मेरा एम्प्लॉय है वो छोटा है, वो तो कि एम्प्लॉय है, और जो कंपनी का क्लाइंट है दैट्स अ ओनर, सो वो बात कैसे कर पाएंगे? And क्या वो क्लाइंट इंटरेस्टेड होगा मेरे टीममेट से बात करने में?
बिल्कुल होगा। देयर इज अ फ्रेमवर्क। रिमेंबर वन थिंग केवल, इन अ बिजनेस वी आर सपोज्ड टू डेलीगेट द प्रोजेक्ट्स, नॉट द रिलेशनशिप्स। नाउ हाउ डज दिस वर्क? इफ आई हैव माय टीम मेंबर, अगर मुझे मालूम है मेरे को मैं आगे जाके इस क्लाइंट को अपने सिर के ऊपर नहीं लाना चाहता हर छोटी रिक्वेस्ट इस क्लाइंट की कि मुझे ये अपडेट भेज दो, वो अपडेट भेज दो, और मैं चाहता हूँ मेरी टीम हैंडल करे, तो मेरे को सबसे पहले ना टीम को साथ लेके जाना है स्टेज 1 में। टीम को सिर्फ इंट्रोड्यूस कराना है सो दैट कस्टमर नोज दैट देयर इज समबडी, एंड आई कैन कीप चेंजिंग पीपल, इट डजंट हैव टू बी द सेम पर्सन, राइट? धीरे धीरे। सो स्टार्टिंग में मैं करूँगा। देन सेकंड स्टेज इज व्हेन वी से दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई कॉल द गेट बैक स्टेज, राइट? यू कॉल मी एंड यू सेइंग परितोष मेरे को ये वाला अपडेट प्लीज भेज दो, ये ट्रेनिंग कब हो रही है, कैसे हो रही है। अगर मेरे पास वो डेटा है भी केवल, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू गिव इट। You'll get it within 2 minutes of asking, but you'll not get it from me. I'm going to say, Kewal, just give me 2 minutes. Tanuj is sending you that data. So now I'm introducing Tanuj. Right? So you have to understand, customer का trust लेना हमारी जिम्मेदारी। Customer नहीं बात करेगा employee से because employees usually उतने effective नहीं होते। So if I want you to speak to my employees, then it is my responsibility that you trust that they're capable enough. और एकदम से नहीं होगा, so I have to do it slowly. और उसके लिए सबसे पहले केवल बिजनेस ओनर को बदलना है। The biggest roadblock, many of you are not going to like this, is actually the business owner himself. And the moment the culture at top changes, starts to change it at the bottom. It's not very difficult, Kewal. I have hundreds of students have done this over years. People where customers would only talk to them, and now they don't even talk to the customer. It took some time.
So, if you can, redefine, or if you can just list down the mistakes which people make. So, obviously, in this entire discussion, we talked about mistakes, but if you can just talk about in numbers.
कितना time आपके पास?
So there are like zillions of mistakes.
Oh, so देखो, so networking कहाँ apply होती है?
चलो top 3 mistakes ले लेते हैं।
Right, okay.
Top 3 mistakes जो लोग करते हैं networking में।
Right. Number 1, not believing that they can network. सबसे बड़ी myth जो है networking के world में वो ये है कि लोगों को लगता है कि मेरी जो ability है ना network करने की, that is fixed.
Especially for introverts, वो feel कि यार मैं तो बात करना चाहता नहीं हूँ, मेरे को capability नहीं है।
Introverts believe that they are at a limitation with that. They are at a loss because they are introvert. Whereas anyone who's watching, go to Google today, type this in. More than 50% of successful business owners in the world today are introverts, and you'll see this data. Introversion का मतलब केवल बहुत simple है कि आप अलग तरीके से network करते हो. It doesn't mean कि आप network नहीं कर सकते. So those of you are introvert, understand this. आपको खुद से पूछना है कि किस तरह की networking आपके लिए काम करती है, right? So there's something called one-on-one networking. There's called one-to-many networking. There's formal networking, informal networking, strategic networking, structured networking. अलग-अलग तरीके. You have to understand what kind of networking works for you, and then go become the best in the world at that.
So that was the first mistake. So what is the second one?
Not making it a priority. Delaying it. Networking है, लोगों से मिलना कभी भी start करें. I can start it tomorrow.
And if they don't network, what will happen?
Okay, look at this.
कोई B2B business owner है, इसका business ही आगे clients आएंगे तो चलेगा और clients नहीं आएंगे तो नहीं चलेगा. For example, एक digital marketing agency की बात कर रहे हैं, और maybe a manufacturer or a trader. और obviously B2C का अलग concept है. I'll come to that as well. कि B2C कोई brand है, जिसके online Amazon पे product बिकते हैं, और owner अपना face कभी भी दिखाना नहीं चाहता.
लोगों को पता भी नहीं है कौन है.
तो उस प्रोडक्ट के उसमें बिजनेस पे कैसे नेटवर्किंग हो सकती है? ऑल्दो बिल गेट्स माइक्रोसॉफ्ट से बड़ा ब्रांड था, स्टीव जॉब्स एप्पल से बड़ा ब्रांड था, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो ब्रांडिंग फेस वैल्यू भी कनेक्ट कर पाते हैं. बट लेट्स कम डाउन टू द सेकंड मिस्टेक, व्हिच वाज योर प्रायोरिटी, राइट?
Prioritizing it, right? So look at this. To prioritize networking, we have to understand the why of networking. वहाँ पे goal set होना चाहिए. The conversation we had a couple of minutes ago. The moment you sit down and calculate the value that networking can add in your business, right, it completely changes the perspective of people. They would realize, yeah, I'm doing sales, I'm doing marketing, I'm investing so much money. I'm not saying we shouldn't do sales and marketing, right? What I'm saying is sales and marketing shouldn't be done at the cost of networking. It is not a substitute. Right?
Yeah.
Sales is amazing, marketing is amazing. So
Networking is part of everything.
it's part of
Family,
everything, right?
friends,
Goals,
relationship,
business,
everything.
right? So the moment you sit down and calculate your goal, right? Okay, goal छोड़ो, potential, a whole dimension, new dimension appears.
So priority से यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन आता है कि schedule है, work from Monday to Sunday, Monday to Saturday, Monday to Friday. What do you think is the best day to network? Is there any best day?
No, the best system in the world is the one you actually use. Right? So for you, it may be different. For me, it may be different. Right? We both are technically in services business. Right? Depending upon the kind of clients you have, depending upon the kind of office hours you have, depending on the kind of travel that you do. Right? My argument is simple. Don't do anything new. Just do what you're doing better. To begin with. अगर आप दिन में 3 कस्टमर से बात करते हो ना, उस बात में 2 से 3 मिनट का टाइम. Just start with that, because that will start to give some confidence. Anyone who's new to networking here will not, if I go and tell Kewal, start networking 1 day a week. You know, we teach this in the program, right? But if I start telling them, they don't know what to do, what to say, right? So begin small, right? Any conversation that you're having with any of your customers, any of your team members, just extend that conversation by 1 or 2 minutes. Take genuine interest and add value. That is one of the most amazing ways, right? And then anyone who's looking for more systems and structures, start networking 1 day a week, right? Start joining networking events, go to networking platforms, all of that is there. But understand your existing goldmine resources, your employees, your customers. Begin there.
So when you talk about networking platforms, so what is your take on BNI?
It's an amazing platform. Yeah, absolutely, right? And this is where I coined this term, actually, what I said earlier, that platforms don't fail, people do. I actually coined it for BNI because a lot of my clients are BNI clients as well. They're BNI members, right? And people have this perception that, oh, it's going to take a lot of time, or this, that. Yes, it's going to take time, but it gives that kind of ROI as well. But then, number one, you have to join a networking platform at the right time. ये लोगों को नहीं मालूम है. There's a right time and wrong time to join a networking platform. Right. पहले wrong time discuss करो. उससे आपको right time पता होगा, right? आपके existing customers हैं जिनसे आप मिल नहीं रहे हो, उनके through आपका business 25% अगले 3 महीने में 6 महीने में grow कर सकता है, ठीक है? वो आप कर नहीं रहे हो. उनको ignore करके, उनके साथ अपने relationship weak करके, उनके साथ अपनी credibility lose करके आप एक नया networking platform join कर रहे हो. That is the wrong time. So first take care of your existing resources. Make sure that वहाँ पे जो सही चीजें हैं वो करनी हैं. Then go and join with the platform. देखो, मैं एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाके केवल करूंगा तो वही जो मैं करता हूँ. Nothing जो मुझे आता है. अगर मैं अपने existing customers को ignore कर रहा हूँ और मैंने नेटवर्किंग प्लेटफॉर्म ज्वाइन कर लिया तो मैं वहाँ से कस्टमर लाऊंगा, उसको अपने कस्टमर बकेट में डालूंगा और मैं फिर उसे इग्नोर करूँगा. Right. And I will constantly, I'll make a fool of myself thinking that, hey, joining a networking platform is adding more customers. Now, if you look at the potential, your potential with the customers is to add 100 customers a year. But you're ignoring that potential, and at the platform, you're happy कि 20 मिल रहे हैं. How does that make any sense? Right? So this automatically answers, once the right time, take care of your existing customers. And this doesn't mean anyone who's at a networking platform now is doing wrong. No, just start prioritizing your customers. That's all. वो अपने आप आपको रेफर देंगे. आपके बिजनेस में आने के मल्टीपल सोर्सेज होने चाहिए, कनेक्ट्स, कॉन्टैक्ट्स, लीड्स, अपॉर्चुनिटीज के. राइट? इट कांट बी जस्ट वन. राइट? मिनिमम 4 होने चाहिए, मिनिमम. राइट? एंड कस्टमर रेफरल्स हैज टू बी वन ऑफ द हाईएस्ट प्रायोरिटी वंस.
Right, that's true. So what is the third mistake?
Waking up to networking condition. Most business owners, they start to wake up to networking when their business is going down. And employed professionals, they start to wake up to networking when they want their career to grow. Now here, Kewal, one important fact is that before we start doing networking, we have to build a network.
Yeah.
एक टाइप ऑफ नेटवर्किंग है मार्केट में जिसको हम कहते हैं स्प्लैश एंड डैश. ठीक है, जब मुझे बिजनेस चाहिए मैं स्प्लैश करता हूँ, मैं इस इवेंट में भी आता हूँ, मैं उसमें भी आता हूँ, मैं हर जगह दिखता हूँ.
और वैसे इंडिया में तो क्या हुआ?
डैश गन. राइट, हमको लगता है किसी को नहीं दिख रहा, सबको सबका सच दिखता है. Everyone can see everyone's truth. Right? I can tell that you're out there when you're there, you're active, you're energized, and of course you're also selling. I can tell that too. But then you're gone. There's no recall. So imagine if I'm only coming to you when I need you, and I'm never there otherwise. Would you refer me?
Because no, I can't trust you.
Yes, and it's not just referral. ये भी मत सोचना that we only have the risk of referral, right? You will be talking to 5 other people about me.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm there for you, you'll be saying positive things. And if I'm not there for you, well,
how much time does it take to build a network?
It's a never ending. It's never done.
It's a recurring process. You need to just keep nurturing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Right. You can't really ever say it's done. Right? Okay. जैसे business में कोई success एक destination नहीं है. It's a journey that you have. Every year, the meaning of your success changes. And you keep going up. Technology is a huge enabler. But yeah, we have to do it right? You spoke about LinkedIn earlier. How can people network on LinkedIn? Let's talk about all digital mediums. LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta. How do people network on that? I recommend a 3-step approach. Right? Abhi market mein ho raha hai, connect and leverage. So somebody will come and sale, straight away sale. Hey, Kewal, thank you so much. By the way, this is what we do. Would you want to meet? Right? Now, we have to insert a step in between. Right? Connect, engage, and then leverage. Right? Now,
how to engage?
Very simple. Let's talk about LinkedIn. Right? If I want to do business with you, how can I engage with you? On your content. Or I add value for you. Right? I connect with you and I send you an ebook or I send a nice article. Right? I send something that will benefit you. The moment most people out there are connecting with you for their benefit. The moment I start connecting with you for your benefit, I stand apart from the crowd. You'll remember me. And then if I meet at a networking event and I say, hey, Kewal, I'm Paritosh. By the way, we're connected on LinkedIn. You know, oh yeah, Paritosh, you send me that article. Imagine so much of barrier just gone out. Right? Any digital, whether it's WhatsApp, right? Whether it's WhatsApp networking, these days people use this term, right? Social media networking, right? 3 steps. Connect with people, engage with them on their content, share something. Basically, you have to find a way to add a value in their life. Right.
Creating value. So I think that the formula which was GIVC, show genuine interest in your audience and create value. I see a lot of YouTubers who have gone to multi-million subscribers. They first of all, understood their audience, started taking genuine interest and started creating, value in terms of either entertainment or giving some knowledge or doing something else. And that's how their YouTube also grew. So I think it's all about this formula itself. GIN.
As long as you're dealing with human beings.
Yeah. But still, when we talk about introverts and extroverts, there's some struggle with them. What is your one tip to extrovert? What to avoid when they're networking?
Stop splashing and dashing, right? And not all extroverts do that, right? But the common challenge is people think that's what networking is for. Coming, giving cards, identifying prospects, and then
talking too much and listening less.
Yes. A lot of time, let's pick one huge problem. One of the biggest things people come to me and say, Paritosh, I attended the conference. 5 people said, send me an email, talk to me. I send them an email, they're not responding. It's a simple fact. If I'm only interested in you for me, why would you respond? Where is the value in that relationship? Where is the value in the transaction? Right? I'm not the only
people are thinking just short term. That okay, if I met this guy, how can I convert him to my customer next week? They're not thinking long term. That if I'm able to connect, build the relationship, then eventually the business also might.
Absolutely. And because of this short-term mindedness, they're actually struggling in the short term. Because they think long-term will take too long. अगर मैं अभी केवल से बात करूँगा, people have this fear. मैं केवल से बात करूँगा, केवल के लिए value add करूँगा. अगर उसने मेरे से नहीं पूछा मेरे बारे में तो इतने सारे लोग आपके बारे में पूछ रहे हैं, उसके बाद क्या हो रहा है? कुछ नहीं हो रहा. Try this out. See what happens, right? Just keep other people at the center of the conversation.
Any one tip to introverts who are listening to us?
Find a way that works for you. Ask yourself what kind. So, okay, number one tip: stop believing that you are at a loss. सबसे पहले तो ये सोचना छोड़. Enough data out there in the world where nearly 50% of some of the most successful people in the world are introverts, right? They're not those dynamic extroverted people, right? Take Ratan Tata, take the Ambanis out there, right? They're not really going out and they're not owning the room, etc. They're very simple people. They go sit, people come and talk to them, and they're still able to network, right? Take Elon Musk, he's not really an extrovert, you can tell, right? Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
But they've been able to come to where they are, right? So, extroverts and introverts, neither of them is good, neither of them is bad, right? But the moment I underdo my capability, I'm doing wrong, and I overdo. That's wrong. Agar ek extrovert okay, not gonna work. Because this person in front of you is a human being and we respond to emotions.
Now I see that you talked about the self and the customers. There was a hierarchy, and it was open network as well. I want to add one more category. That's family and friends.
So yeah, technically we include them in customers, external customers, internal customers होते हैं, team members भी होते हैं. I just didn't want to go into a lot of detail, but yes. See, when I come to office, I only put on different clothes, but I just bring my character.
Yeah.
You were talking about BNI. There's a very famous line in BNI that I learned. The way I do anything is the way I do everything.
True.
Right? The way I treat people at home is the way I treat people out there. Right? Where you never have. So let's talk about a Denban principle, okay? Don't ever network, BEN. Build a network, BAN.
Difference needs me.
Right? So networking is me going attending event, sharing cards, following up. Building a network is me bringing people into my network by building relationships, by adding value.
So when you start adding, value in people's like 100 people's life, for example, you added value. So now they're part of your network. So you build a network of 100 people. If you take that to 1,000, 1,000 people are part of a network. So it's all about increasing the network by numbers and consistently adding the value.
Right. Yes. Balance of quantity and quality.
Quality.
Right. These days, there's this whole trend of how many followers do I have, how many people on LinkedIn do I have, how many K connections do I have. Right. It's great that you have quantity, but how's the quality?
Yeah, I think nowadays, in fact, if we talk about coaching industry as well, the trend has shifted. Instead of content, people are now focusing on community. How can we build community where instead of just talking about some information, how can we, build the relationships, openness, and give people space to ask the questions?
That's what people want, right? Right? They're just not looking for content. Similarly, your clients are not just looking for training. They want to be mentally empowered. They need you to break their mental barriers of using that. And this is applicable across all businesses. You're dealing with human beings. Bore kar raha hu bol ke aapko ye.
No, I think this podcast has been an eye-opener for me as well, especially that hierarchy, which was vendors, service providers, value creator, and then the partner. That has taken things to the next level. एक question आपने छोड़ा है बीच में, I want you to complete that, which was, for example, if somebody's got 500 customers, आपने बोला जो आपके VIP customers हैं, you meet them physically. But the ones who are not the VIP customers, how do you network with them?
I had actually answered that.
Okay,
right?
but if you can give some examples on how can we add value to our customers?
Right. Okay, I'll tell you how I add. Right. One of my most used mechanism is this thing called value letters. I used to teach this. I still teach this in my programs. Right. These are emails that are just addressing the pain points of the customers. ऐसा तो है नहीं कि after you've done my program, आपके problems networking के खत्म हो गए. As the time changing, new technology coming in, you've got new challenges, right? So if I stop saying, hey, Kewal hasn't paid me, I'm not going to help him solve this problem. If I just stop taking that barrier out, if I just pick that out, and I said, okay, I write a simple email that, hey, Kewal, here is how you can use artificial intelligence. That's a new big thing, right? AI today to boost your networking efforts. Right? I'm adding value. Right? Then let's say a conference is coming and I send you an email saying, hey Kewal, here's a conference, this would be great for you. Please do think of it and adding value. Right? So I use emails. That's the system I use. Somebody can do the same thing over WhatsApp. Somebody can do the same thing over YouTube. Okay, these are the tech solutions. Then let's look at non-tech solutions. Right? We train as coaches, we run alumni program. I know you run Achievers Club, right? And this is where people are coming together and staying with you in that space. I get a lot of my clients to start annual customer meetings, biannual customer meetings. Right? That's how you do that. A lot of my customer clients, whose clients are distributed around the world, they do Zoom meetups. Right? With technology available today, there is no limitation.
One observation, or if I talk about myself in terms of how I grew my organization, when I started, I was just doing the B2B work, getting the MNC clients, giving them software solutions. The first client that I got was ThyssenKrupp. It is a lift elevator company. I got that client, from LinkedIn and through. So that's I don't know exact story on how I got that client, but there were a few people who were, working in that company, and I genuinely started adding value in their life. Not only just talking about the project and delivering the software, but they used to face some challenges in Excel. So they used to call me, Kewal, how can we solve this? How can we do that? And those people shifted to another company.
Oh, they'll take you there.
And they said, okay, we have this great guy, Kewal, let's take his help. So that one company's employees got me 5-6 more clients. And after that.
And how long did it take for you to help them originally?
Yeah.
Couple of minutes?
Few minutes.
Half an hour?
But then when we started focusing on MSME business owners, same thing we did. We started helping them not only in automation, but any other area, like marketing, how to hire, health, other areas. And then, it started growing in terms of referrals. It took things to the next level.
Well, I'm not surprised. Look at this podcast. This podcast is the partner level activity because your product is not networking. You know your customers can benefit from networking, and you're inviting me and so many other people, right? And why you're doing this? Because you want them to become successful.
I'll give you one more example here. There was one employee. He was building his home, and he said, Kewal, can you give me salary 5 months in advance? He was a good employee. He said, okay, I'll give it to you. So I gave him 5 months advance salary, and I said, I'll keep giving you monthly salary as well. I'll just deduct it sometimes over a 1.5 year, you'll be able to adjust. I did it, and I did not expect anything in terms of thank you or okay, tell it to all other employees. I just did it genuinely. That guy has got 5 more new employees in Zillion. He said, this is the company you should work in, and this company really, cares for you.
And these are your internal customers. Networking applies here. GIDC applies here.
So you need to take care of your employees as well.
You just need to take care of people around you. That's all. Stop categorizing. Ban kar do. Ye customer hai, ye employee hai.
So just start adding value in others' life and magic will start happening. Awesome. So when is your next NRPN coming?
Our next NRPN is in June, but this time in May, on 7th, we're doing a one-day program, right? I'm launching a new program called Secrets of Networking Superstars, right? So that's one day for people to get fired up, charged up, really understand what are some of the biggest mistakes they're making, right? So this is what I'm most excited about right now because this is new, right? And I hope that this is going to help people really get some amazing solutions today.
Awesome. So you can go, what's your website? It was paritoshpathakinternational.com, right?
paritoshpathak.com.
Okay, so guys, you can go to paritoshpathak.com and see on how Paritosh can solve the biggest barriers that you have on growing your business. How can you generate huge amount of referrals, and how can not only your customers but your entire network can refer you, add more value in life, and it starts with you adding value in this life. But then there is a system behind it, there is a process behind it, and it starts with self, then customers,
business, customers,
referrals, and open network. Amazing. Thank you so much, Paritosh, for opening our eyes and showing us that not only technology and automation can help you grow, but these relationships, if you're able to nurture them, it could take your business, your life to the next level. और जिसे बोलते हैं ना कि आपका नेटवर्क का ट्रू पोटेंशियल तब पता चलता है जब आप एक्चुअली ट्रबल में हो, चैलेंजेस में हो. तो as they say, when you're rich, everybody will help. But when you're not rich, when you're poor, how many people will come and help you? So that, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ लोग, इनफैक्ट यू टेल पीपल कि जब आपको नेटवर्किंग की जरूरत नहीं है,
That is the best time to network.
तब आपको नेटवर्क करना चाहिए, बिकॉज that's where you'll be able to add genuine value, because in return you do not need anything.
You don't.
So guys, let's say thank you to Paritosh in the comment box for adding such a great value, and make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your employees, especially your sales employees. How can they learn this art of networking and add more value in your customer's life? Thank you so much, Paritosh, for joining this podcast.
Kewal,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. This was absolute fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. Keep doing the amazing job that you're doing. Love
Thank you. Keep learning, keep automating, keep networking, and keep watching this MSME Growth Podcast series. I'll see you. Take care. Bye-bye.